Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. I Jyoti welcome you all to RKP online classes. As you all know kids, in our previous class we have talked about our chapter, The Bond of Love. And we have done some parts, some paragraphs of this chapter already we have covered. So let's have a recap of what we have done. We have known till now that a baby bear, a sloth bear, has been brought to the place of the author and it was gifted to the author's wife by the author as a gift. And how did she welcome it? How did she welcome the sloth bear? She was very delighted and she tied a ribbon around the neck of the sloth bear as a symbol of affection. As a symbol of affection, she tied a ribbon. And when she came to know that the baby bear was a boy, it was a male bear, she christened it Bruno. We had studied till now. We have also seen the contrast in the nature of the author and his companions. We have seen that the author was of the view that if the animal is not attacking him, if the animal is not doing any harm to the author, he will not attack the animal. It was the view of the author, and he had made up his mind that he will not attack the parent sloth bear, and he didn't do so. But his companions promptly, without any delay, they shot the bear dead, and the baby bear was then orphaned. We have seen till here. So let's move forward now. Open your books at page number 114. Be ready with your pencil as well. As you know, you have to note down the main points as well as you have to underline the difficult words and do the dictionary work, that is search the meaning. Though I am telling you the meaning, but still you have to take pains. Check out the meaning in the dictionary, the proper meaning and the sentence uses of that word, so that you can have that word. You can have that word in your own vocabulary and you can use it in your daily routine. Clear? So on page number 114, we are at paragraph number 6. Everyone get ready. Look into your books now. Let's start. Great. So we start with paragraph 6. Bruno soon took to drinking milk from a bottle. Means now he was accustomed to drink milk from a bottle. He took to drinking. It was but a step further, and within a few days he started eating and drinking everything else. Now see the change. Earlier Bruno lived with his parent. So whatever feeding patterns, whatever eating patterns he had, they were similar to his parent bear. Clear? But now the first step that Bruno took after he was made a pet, he took to drinking milk. That was the first step. Second thing we see is that they are telling a step further. He started eating everything else. He started eating as well. Now one thing that we can notice over here is that when the baby sloth bear was with his parent, he had eating patterns that were similar to his parent. But now Bruno is with the family of the author. Now he is a pet. Now he is no more a wild animal that is living in the forest. Now he is domesticated by the author and his wife. So the feeding patterns, the eating patterns that he is having at present are similar to the author and his wife. They are similar to that of the author and wife. So we can see one more thing over here. as we see that we humans are very flexible. We can adjust to the environment we are staying in. We know it is said, when in Rome, behave like Romans. That means behave like the place you are in. That is clear to everyone. It's not that so that you are staying in a village where the people are very traditional and you are wearing shorts. That is not at all possible, because it will seem really odd if we compare it to the environment. Clear? Like if you are in a school and you are going with a party dress, that is not done, because in school you are having a uniform. That means we have to be as the places. Clear? If you are in Rome, you have to behave like Romans. Similarly, if you are in India, you have to behave like Indians. That means we have the capability to adjust ourselves according to our environment. Clear? Similarly, the animals also show the same flexibility. They also show the same flexibility. As we can see through Bruno. Earlier he had the eating patterns of his parent. Now he is having eating patterns that are similar to that of the author and his wife. He drinks milk. He also eats everything else. I hope that much is clear to each and every one. So let's move further now. We have, he started eating and drinking everything else. And everything is the right word. Everything means literally everything. There was nothing that he didn't eat. We have, for he ate porridge made from many ingredients, vegetables, fruit, nuts, meat, especially pork, curry and rice, regardless of condiments and chilies. Condiments means spices that are used. Bread, eggs, chocolate, sweets, pudding, ice cream, etc., etc., and etc. That means he ate everything. Porridge here means when we mix rice and we mix pulses and then we fry them, it becomes porridge. I'll use a Hindi word, that is khichdi that we say. Porridge, he ate ice cream, he ate chocolate. There was nothing that he didn't eat. That means he literally ate everything. Literally means going by the word. Everything means leaving nothing exception. Clear? So he literally ate everything. Next we have, as for drink. Now this was about the meal that he can eat. But if we talk about something liquid, what could he drink? So we will say milk, tea, coffee, lime juice, aerated water. Aerated water means soda water. Buttermilk, beer, alcoholic liquor, and in fact anything liquid. Again, everything that is liquid, he can drink that as well. It all went down with relish, means he didn't have the tantrums like I'll not eat this, I'll not eat that. He literally ate everything, he literally drank everything that was possible for him to get. Clear? Coming to the 7th paragraph, we have, the bear became very attached to our 2 Alsatian dogs and to all the children of the tenants living in our bungalow. Now, Alsatian means the dogs that were brought from Alsace. So he was very affectionate. So he developed an attachment with the dogs as well, and not only with the dogs but also with the children of the tenants. Tenant means people who were living on rent at the place of the author. People living on rent, living in rented house, you can say, they are tenants. So he got really attached to the dogs and with the children of the tenants. He was left quite free in his younger days, means he was not tied with any chain, and spent his time in playing, running into the kitchen and going to sleep in a bed. So he was very much like their all children. He was quite free. He went to the kitchen, he slept with them in the beds. Now coming to paragraph number 8, we have, One day an accident befell him, means something bad happened to him. I put down poison, barium carbonate, to kill the rats and mice that had got into my library. Now the author says that he has kept poison in his library so as to feed the mice so that they can be dead, so that they can die and not trouble him. And Bruno entered the library as he often did, so he was free, he was not barred from going at any place. So he ate some of the poison, he found the barium carbonate over there and he didn't know whether to eat it or not. And he was used to eating everything that he found. So he ate that poison. Paralysis set in to the extent that he could not stand on his feet, and the very moment when he ate the poison, when he ate the barium carbonate, paralysis attacked him. Paralysis means when your body parts can't move, they become stiff. So the very moment he ate, he got the attack of paralysis. And it was to the extent that it was not possible for him to stand on his feet. But he dragged himself on his stumps to my wife who called me. So he dragged himself to his wife and his wife called the author. I guessed what had happened. So the author says that I had the very idea what might have happened when she called me. I guessed, off I rushed. Off means to that very time when he got the call, he left that place for his house to the vet's residence. Now after when he was called, he reached the house and after that he took Bruno and they went to the veterinary doctor. Vets is used as veterinary. And what is veterinary? Veterinary means the doctor that treats animals. Doctor that, or we can say who treats animals. He is called veterinary doctor. So he went to the residence. Residence means to the place, to the house of the doctor. And then what happened? A case of poisoning. He reaches there and he tells the doctor that it is a case of poisoning. Tame beer. Tame beer means tamed pet beer that has been domesticated. Barium carbonate. He gives him the idea of what poison the beer had consumed. So it was barium carbonate. What to do, and he asked him the instructions as to what the author should do to protect, to save the sloth beer. Out came his medical books, and when he gave him the information that it was barium carbonate, so the doctor brought out his books of medical and a feverish reference to index began, and with great excitement, in a great hurry, he was very much we can say he was on his feet, he was running, what to do. So there was something like excitement in his behavior. So he said, what poison did you say, sir? So he asked again to confirm what poison it was. Barium carbonate. Oh yes, barium salts. Barium carbonate. Now he tells symptoms. Paralysis, treatment, injections of. Just a minute, sir, I'll bring my syringe and the medicine. So he tells that, okay, through barium carbonate he has paralysis attack. So we will have to give him injections. So he says that, let me bring my syringe. Syringe means injection, and before that we need needles. So he said, let me bring my syringes. So a dash back to the car. So he goes back to his car very quickly. Bruno still floundering about on his stump. Now he was still struggling to move, but he was not able to move. But clearly weakening rapidly, and his condition was getting worsened. Some vomiting, heavy breathing with heaving flanks and gaping mouth. Heaving flanks means we can say a spell of vomiting. Again and again vomiting was coming, and he was gaping, his mouth was open. We can say gaping mouth. So his mouth was open as he was struggling to breathe. Because if vomiting is coming, then obviously you are losing the energy that is present in your body, and as his energy was losing, he was trying to gather his breath. So his mouth was open, or we can say his mouth was It was a gaping mouth. Paragraph number 10 we have, hold him everybody. So as he was going to inject the medicine, they were going to give him injection. So he said that hold him so that he doesn't move. If he will move, the injection might be stuck at some wrong place. In goes the hypodermic. Bruno squeezes. 10 cc of the antidote enters his system without a drop being wasted. Now he is given 10 cc of antidote. Now what is antidote? Antidote is the medicine so that the patient can be treated. Suppose if there is poison in the body, so the medicine that we will be giving to the patient so that the effect of the poison can be nullified, so we will be giving antidote to neutralize the effect of the thing that has entered the body. And 10 cc, cc means cubic capacity. 10 cc, it is cubic capacity. Now everyone know that when we talk about liquids, the antidote that is being given through injection is obviously liquid. So if liquid is there, we will be obviously talking about volume. And everyone knows that when volume is talked of, we talk of the unit, cubic unit. We talk of cubic unit. So he was given cubic capacity. It was 10. Clear? Antidote was of 10 cubic capacity. And not even a pinch of, not even a single drop of that was wasted, as it was properly given to the sloth bear. 10 minutes later, condition unchanged. Now they saw that though they have given the antidote, but there are no changes in his body. So what they do? They again injected another 10 cc injected. So another injection was again given. 10 minutes later, breathing less tertious. Now again he was breathing noisily as he was not able to breathe properly. Bruno can move his arms and legs a little, although he cannot stand yet. Now they saw that after repeated injections that were given to him, he was able to move his arms and legs. But still he was not able to stand properly. He was not able to get back on his own feet. 30 minutes later, Bruno gets up and has a great feat. Now after 30 minutes, Bruno is back on his feet and he has a great feed. A great feed means he ate his stomach full. He ate his stomach full as if he was hungry from many days. Next we have, he looks at us disdainfully. Now as if he is condemning us, as if he is telling us that it was really worthless. That the paralysis attack that I had, it was really worthless. It was of no value. Why did I had it? So with that view on his face, he was looking to us and he was saying, what's barium carbonate to a big black bear like me? So he's in a way asking, his look on his face is in a way asking the author and his wife that, do you really think that a poison like barium carbonate can defeat a bear like me? I can tolerate each and everything of this sort. It is nothing for me. Bruno is still eating and he is still eating. He has not left his food. Another time he found nearly 1 gallon of old engine oil which I had drained from the sump of the Studebaker. Now here we have sump. Here we get a word sump. Now what does sump means? Some, like in our houses, we see there is some underground storage that we make. We dig a pit, we cover it properly. In a way, we can say the tank that we make underground to store rainwater. Similarly, in some factories or at some shops, we make underground tanks so that the leftover engine oils or any other things can be filled. It can be chemicals as well, so it is called sump. So he said that the case of poison is not the only one in his life. The another case is that of drinking engine oil. He drank the engine oil. And it was kept by the author. The author was keeping as a weapon against the inroads of termites. Termites, I hope everyone remember, I told you white ants. So it was used by the author to keep off the white ants. Like if we say if we have metals at our home, suppose of iron, we lubricate it. Either we paint it or we oil it so that it doesn't get rusted. It doesn't get rust over it. Similarly, if we talk about termites, we put a layer of oil so that termites don't feed on the wood that we have at our place. So the author is saying that the engine oil that was stored in the sump, it was kept by me so that I can use it as to safeguard my house from termites, as to safeguard, to protect my house from termites, or we can say white ants. He promptly drank a lot, and not only this, he drank his full. He drank it a lot. But it had no ill effects whatever, but it had no ill effects like the poison had on him. What was the effect of the poison? He got a paralysis attack. He was not able to stand. He was not able to breathe properly. Vomiting was there. A spell of vomiting was there. He had a gaping mouth. So all these were ill effects of the paralysis of having eaten the barium carbonate. But the ill effects of engine oil were not visible. The months rolled on and Bruno had grown many times and the size he was when he came. Now the author says that after many months he had grown a lot. Earlier he was really small, but now his size is huge. He had equaled the Alestians in height. The dogs that the author had at his place, he had equaled them in height. Or we can say he had outgrown them. Outgrown means if we are setting a limit, he had crossed that limit. Clear? Suppose if I say the height of the Alestian's dog is this. So he had crossed the height of the Alestian's dog. Alestian dogs is Will. But was just as sweet, just as mischievous, just as playful. But there was no change in his behavior. He was still sweet, playful and mischievous. And he was very fond of us all, and the affection he had in the initial stage with the children of the tenants, with the author and his wife, with the dogs, it was all same. Above all, he loved my wife and she loved him too, and they both had a strong connection. She had changed his name from Bruno to Baba. Now his name was changed from Bruno to Baba. He got another name, Baba. Why did he get his another name? Because he had grown in size as well. Clear? And what does the word Baba signify? It is a Hindustani word which signifies a small boy. Now he was no more an infant, he was a small boy. And he could do a few tricks too. Now he had tricks, something that can fascinate others. He can do some actions in the way. At the command Baba wrestle or Baba box, he vigorously tackled anyone who came forward for a rough and tumble. Now box is the word used for boxing. Now the author says that if someone called him and said Baba wrestle or Baba box, he was ready to do the boxing. He didn't care. Anyone could come in front of him and he was ready to have a rough, tough fight with him. Sorry. Now, rough and tumble, we can say it is a situation, or we can say a game in which there are no set rules. Clear? Give him a stick and say Baba hold gun. And if you are giving him a stick and you are saying Baba hold gun, he will hand it in a position like if it was really a gun. And he pointed the stick at you. He will hold it as if it was a gun and he will shoot you. Ask him Baba, where's baby? And if you will ask him Baba, where is the baby? So what will he do? He will immediately produce. He immediately produced and cradled affectionately a stump of wood, a branch of wood which he had carefully concealed. Concealed means hidden in his straw bed. So if he is told to bring if he is asked about a baby, what will he do? He will bring the stick of wood that he is having. He will bring it, he will hold it like a baby, and he will cradle it, means give it a swing, and he will playfully do some actions as if he really had the baby in his arms. But because of the tenant's children, poor Bruno or Baba had to be kept chained most of the time. Now there was a difference in the situation of Bruno and Baba. Though both are same, Bruno is used for the baby bear and Baba is used for the bear that has grown in size now. Now he is saying us that there was the difference was that now Baba was chained most of the time. He was kept in chains. Chain was tied to his neck. So we have seen here that there were few tricks that were done by Baba. What were they? First thing we have talked about wrestle or box. Wrestle, or we can say box. The second thing that we have talked about is gun. The third thing that we have talked about is baby. So these were the three tricks that were done by Baba. And the other thing that we get to know is that Baba was now chained most of the time. He was chained most of the time because of the children of the tenants, as they might find him something wild which can attack them at